Horse-drawn buggies, hand-sewn quilts, no electricity, no internet, no connection to the modern world. For 300 years, the Amish have built a reputation as the most peaceful, most devout, most morally pure community in America. Millions of tourists visit Lancaster County every year just to catch a glimpse of this simpler way of life. But here is what those tourist brochures will not tell you. In 1998, federal prosecutors indicted 2 young Amish men for moving over $1 million worth of cocaine and meth through Lancaster County. In 2020, a Pennsylvania judge who had presided over more than 30 Amish sexual assault cases said the abuse he had witnessed was hard to imagine anything more offensive or evil. And right now, 97% of licensed puppy mills in Indiana are Amish-run. This is not about a few bad apples. This is about a system designed to protect itself at all costs. To understand how this happens, you need to understand what the Amish actually believe. The Amish trace their roots back to 1693, when a Swiss Anabaptist named Jacob Amann split from the Mennonites over one issue: shunning. Amann believed that anyone who broke the rules needed to be completely cut off from the community. No eating together, no doing business together. If you're married to someone who gets shunned, you can't even sleep in the same bed. This practice became the foundation of everything. It's how you maintain order in a community with no police, no courts, and no connection to outside authority. And for centuries, it seemed to work. The Amish population has doubled every 20 years. There are now over 370,000 Amish living across 32 states. They pay taxes, they build furniture, they farm, they stay out of trouble. At least, that's what everyone thought. But the same walls that keep the modern world out also keep secrets in. And when you build a society where reporting wrongdoing means losing your family, your community, and everything you've ever known, a lot of wrongdoing never gets reported. The first major crack came in June 1998. Federal agents arrested Abner King Stoltzfus and Abner Stoltzfus, both in their early 20s, for conspiracy to distribute cocaine. According to court records reported by Lancaster Online and documented by the law firm Pfeiffer Reese, the investigation revealed these 2 men had purchased approximately $100,000 worth of cocaine from the Pagans motorcycle gang. But they weren't using it themselves. They were distributing it to Amish youth groups with names like the Crickets, the Antiques, and the Pilgrims at barn dances called hoedowns. The broader network moved over $1 million in cocaine and methamphetamine from 1992 to 1997. Both men cooperated with investigators. They wore recording devices hidden under their black hats during meetings with Pagans members. They received 1 year in federal prison. And here's the part that tells you everything about how the Amish community responds to crime. More than 100 Amish community members traveled to Philadelphia to serve as character witnesses for the drug dealers. Following the arrests, 12 secret drug awareness meetings were held across Amish communities. Approximately 12,000 Amish people attended. At one meeting, a young woman stood up and publicly confessed her cocaine addiction. This wasn't an isolated incident. In November 2021, Tennessee authorities arrested Chris Appleby, a 33-year-old Amish convert, seizing 25 pounds of marijuana and 13 weapons with altered serial numbers. Academic research from Dr. James Cates found that Amish youth actually express intent to use alcohol and tobacco at higher rates than non-Amish teens. But drugs were just the beginning. If you've ever bought a puppy online or from a pet store, there's a decent chance it came from an Amish puppy mill. According to USDA license data, 97% of licensed puppy mills in Indiana are Amish-run. In Ohio, it's 98%. Lancaster County, Pennsylvania has 243 licensed kennels, with 98% reportedly operated by Amish owners. Holmes County, Ohio holds 470 licensed kennels, more than any other county in America. The violations documented in federal inspection records are horrific. In Lancaster County, in 2025, John S. Stoltzfus Jr. faces animal cruelty charges for allegedly taking the life of 4 sheepadoodle puppies because, in his words, Black puppies aren't selling. In Ohio, Joseph A. Miller of Horseshoe Kennel admitted to performing invasive dental procedures on dogs himself rather than using a veterinarian. According to USDA inspection documents cited in the Humane Society's 2025 Horrible 100 report, one dog died while struggling in his grasp. He remains USDA licensed. Steve Cruz of Stonehenge Kennel in Iowa is an eighth-time repeat offender on the Horrible 100 list. He had 199 dogs euthanized after receiving animals from another breeder whose license was revoked. He threw a bag containing 2 dead puppies at a USDA inspector. His punishment? A 21-day license suspension. A February 2025 USDA internal audit found that 80% of dog breeders with documented violations did not fully correct the problems found during inspections. Bill Smith of Mainline Animal Rescue explained the mindset to investigators. Dogs in this community are viewed as livestock, nothing more. Chickens or pigs or goats, it's just a source of income for them. But what's happening to the animals is nothing compared to what's happening to the children. In January 2020, Type Investigations journalist Sarah McClure published a year-long investigation into sexual abuse in Amish communities. She identified 52 prosecuted sexual assault cases across 7 states over 2 decades. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's covering series documented at least 25 convictions in Pennsylvania and Ohio in just the past decade, plus 10 additional cases where church leaders failed to report abuse to authorities. Those are just the cases that made it to court. A 2024 academic study by researchers Byler, Mitchell, Whitmer, and Hoffman surveyed 384 former Amish members. Approximately half reported experiencing childhood sexual abuse. The cases that do reach prosecutors reveal a system designed to protect abusers. David Stoltzfus Smucker received 38 to 76 years in prison for raping 4 preteen girls under the age of 10 in Lancaster County. Judge Dennis Reinacker, who has presided over more than 30 Amish sexual assault cases, called it hard to imagine anything more offensive or evil. But that sentence was the exception. In Webster County, Missouri, 2 Amish brothers who raped their 12 and 13-year-old sister received no prison time. Their punishment? 5 years probation, 100 hours of community service, and a $250 fine. The prosecutor argued they would have been eaten alive in state prison. Then there's Mary Byler. Mary was raped by her father and 3 brothers from age 6 to 17. According to the Type Investigations report, she eventually wore a wire to gather evidence against them. Her brother Johnny confessed to assaulting her between 50 and 200 times. At Johnny's sentencing, 150 Amish supporters showed up. For Johnny, not for Mary. Judge Michael Rosbrough asked the courtroom, "How many of you have ever cried for Mary Byler?" Johnny received 1 year in county jail with work release. Mary was shunned by her community for reporting the abuse. Former Lancaster County District Attorney Craig Stedman told NPR, "We have had cases where there will be 50 Amish people standing up for the offender and no one speaks for the victim. The standard internal process works like this. The abuser confesses to church leaders. He undergoes 6 weeks of shunning. He makes a public confession. The community forgives him. No police report, no rape kit, no therapy for the victim." Virtually every Amish victim interviewed by McClure reported being pressured not to go to authorities. Many were threatened with excommunication if they did. As survivor Mary Byler explained, "In our language, we may not actually have words to describe private body parts." So, how does all of this stay hidden? It starts with education. The 1972 Supreme Court case, Wisconsin versus Yoder, exempted Amish children from school after 8th grade. Justice William Douglas dissented, warning, "It is the future of the student, not the future of the parents, that is imperiled by today's decision." Research cited by the Amish Heritage Foundation found the average Amish adult reads at a 5th grade literacy level. Health literacy studies show 12% of Amish participants read at or below 6th grade level compared to just 2.6% of non-Amish participants. Limited education means options limited. If you want to leave, you have an 8th grade education, no work history outside the community, and no social security number to get a job. Self-employed Amish are legally exempt from paying into social security, which means they also waive all benefits. Then there's shunning itself. Dr. Kipling Williams, Distinguished Professor of Psychological Sciences at Purdue University, has studied ostracism for decades. His brain imaging research shows that social exclusion activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. Chronic exposure leads to depression, anxiety, PTSD symptoms, and suicidal ideation. One Amish minister described shunning as the New Testament equivalent of stoning someone to death. Spring Haven Counseling Center in Ohio reports that 40% of their patients are Amish or from plain communities. Their Amish liaison receives approximately 100 calls per week from Amish individuals dealing with mental health issues. The Indiana Law Enforcement Academy confirms that domestic violence and property crimes often go unreported because crimes are generally reported to church officials who then attempt to handle these situations on their own. And if you're wondering about Amish Mafia, the Discovery Channel show, it was completely fake. Donald Craybill, the leading Amish studies scholar at Elizabethtown College, called it an exploitation of the Amish culture. The show's star was never actually baptized into the Amish church. The real crimes don't make for entertaining television. They're just sad. Lancaster County has made some progress. Task forces now connect Amish leaders with law enforcement, and some bishops have started reporting crimes and cooperating with authorities. But no women participate on the Amish side of these task forces. Facilities like Whispering Hope still accept sex offenders for Bible-based treatment without licensed psychological staff. And the fundamental structure remains unchanged. A community where 8th grade education is the maximum allowed, where shunning is used to silence victims, and where forgiveness of perpetrators takes priority over protection of the vulnerable. There are approximately 370,000 Amish people in America right now. Half of surveyed former members report childhood sexual abuse. Thousands of dogs suffer in documented puppy mill conditions. And the tourist buses keep rolling through Lancaster County, taking pictures of the buggies. Hit like and subscribe for more investigations like this one.